Yes, I said it. I took a break. I had to take a break. You guys have been wondering where I am, what happened to the License to Live conference. I missed all the episodes on the podcast. What the heck is going on, Dr. Jarrett? Well, I will tell you exactly what was going on and what J-Lo had to do with it.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to this episode of License to Live. My name is Dr. Jarrett Patton, and I'm your host for our journey together today and every day you choose to listen to this show. If you or anyone you know has been dissed in their career, please invite them to join us along this journey. Just go to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you listen to your podcasts, and hit subscribe to License to Live. While you're there, please rate this episode because good ratings help spread this show and this message to lots of other people. So I need your help in spreading this message. Now, you know what I mean when I say dissed. I mean things like displaced. I can't believe that I was let go after I worked so hard for this place. Disgruntled, like, how many more Mondays do I have to show up to work? Or disenfranchised, like I was when I had my medical license temporarily suspended. So there are lots of ways that you can be dissed in your career, and I'm happy that you're joining us along this journey on the License to Live podcast. At the top of the show, I said I had to take a break, and I did. I didn't intend it. I didn't necessarily schedule it, but I took a break. And it came to the point where my producer, Chris, shout out to Chris Wright. Chris just sat there and he had to reach out by email a couple of times, and I would respond kind of slowly. And then he had to pick up the phone and call. And he was like, yo, what's going on? Where are the latest episodes? What's happening with the show? So, I talked to him a little bit about how I took a break. It wasn't planned, but sometimes you have to do that in life because, well, life is about living life, not about work, not about podcasting, not about all of these other things that I get to do and I love doing. But sometimes even with things that you love, you have to take a break. The same is true with the License to Live conference. A lot of you guys have been looking for it. We typically have had it over the past 5 years. We have it in July, and they're like, it's usually in Philadelphia. I haven't seen any announcement. What's going on with that? Well, guess what? I took a break from that as well. And I took a break for a number of reasons, and a lot of people love the in-person gatherings, but they like the convenience of getting things online. But you don't get the networking, you don't get the real energy in the room when you're doing it online. And I said, well, let's look at the License to Live conference in a different spectacle. And we put that lens on it and said, it can look very different. Now, this is where I need your help because the final straw came when Jennifer Lopez, yeah, you know her, J-Lo. J-Lo was all set for her summer concert tour. And at the last minute when she was about to kick off, she pulled the plug on it. And they stated there were a number of reasons for it. They didn't do it, couldn't do it at this time and whatever. And I said, you know what? If J-Lo has the courage to pull the plug on her show, I can do the same for me. So I am so sorry for all of you fire starters that were let down. You were ready to get headed out to Philadelphia again this summer. But no, I didn't even advertise it. I didn't even publicize it because I knew it'd be easier to just not have it at all than wait for all this publicity to go and then say, hey, everybody, sorry to disappoint you, but we're not having it. So I know some of you J-Lo fans probably can relate because well, that's exactly what she did. But this is why I need the fire starters' help right now, because we are looking at taking the License to Live conference on the road. Yes, on the road, meaning a multi-city stop. And I am taking a few of the cities where I know I have large followings. There'll be one on the East Coast. There'll be one in the Deep South. There'll be one on the West Coast. But for some of these other places, I need to hear from you guys. And the best statistics I have are based on the listenership of this show. And the cities that tend to have the highest listening rates will have something set up. It's just going to be that simple. So make sure you are tuning in to the details on the License to Live podcast as we get this thing together. And where you are listening from is going to automatically place a vote for your own city. So some of the more popular cities, obviously Philadelphia is a big one, but that's basically where I live. But you have a number of other cities that are out there. Atlanta rises to the top, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Los Angeles. So there are some of you guys that will have a License to Live event in your city. I just need you guys to listen. So stay tuned. Now, to what I was doing on this break. This break gave me a lot to think about, really. I mean, some from a father's perspective, parenting, spending time with family, some from an entrepreneurial and setting up business contacts, continuing on with a lot of the speaking, a lot of the media events that I do. But frankly, I just need a little bit of time for myself, because when your batteries start to drain, you're not as effective as you need to be. And for all of you guys that are clients, that have been clients in the past, I always show up for you guys no matter where I am. And that didn't change. So that's the one thing I did hold on to. And really, that's my energy and lifeblood. I get energy from helping you get over these career obstacles, get over these leadership obstacles that get in the way, and help you from achieving your optimum self. So we have a little bit of fun coming. License to Live, listen from your place. And I tell you what, I was able to take a break in a number of areas because my business is relatively mobile. I have the luxury of doing that, but everybody doesn't have that luxury. And a lot of people have been taking to quiet vacationing. And I'm going to talk about quiet vacationing right after we finish thanking our sponsor.
Something smells good. EH3 coffee. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. Nothing better than waking up. EH3 in your cup. Premium organic. EH3 coffee. Nothing better than in the middle of your day. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. EH3 coffee.
Hey, this is Dr. Jarrett Patton. Do you need more positivity in your life? No matter what part of your life you want to transform, positive affirmations can help you achieve your goals. But sometimes making permanent changes can be difficult. Designed with you in mind, License to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. License to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will set you on the path to changing your mindset, beliefs, speech, and ultimately your actions. You can change your life now by getting your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your finer book retails, or licensedtolive.com. That's licensedtolive.com.
The time is now to refresh your career. We help doctors, lawyers, executives, and VIPs refresh and restart. Dr. Jarrett's coaching helps you build confidence, gain more credibility, develop more leadership skills, and gain clarity in your career path. Want to climb the executive ladder or branch out on your own? We'll put your career in overdrive. Visit drjarrett.com and sign up for your free strategy session.
Hey guys, this is Janae Noonan, and I'm here with Dr. Jarrett on License to Live. Hit the subscribe, follow the journey. Let's go.
Now, when I think of a quiet vacation, I'm thinking about finding a remote location on a beach somewhere where nobody can find me. And some of you guys found me in Virginia when I was at the southern tip of Virginia at the North Carolina border. And some of you guys saw me. It was thrilling and just a complete shock when I heard Dr. Jarrett. And somebody recognized me in this completely remote beach. And I was trying to live in this house that, was away from everything. It was just quiet. And that's typically what I think of a quiet vacation. It may be in the beach. It may be at a lake. May even be out on a boat. Had some nice and quiet, relaxing vacations that way. And this time during my break, I spent some time with family. I spent some time with friends. I spent some time in solitude. I spent a lot of time trying to build a plan that was going to help others build their plans. So lots of things can go on in this, but a new term has erupted over this season, talking about quiet vacationing and what does that mean? Now, certainly I've had a lot of loud vacations, but those, end up in, some dramatic story that I probably won't share here yet today. I'll wait till I'm on somebody else's show to share those stories. But quiet vacationing is something that's been looked at in the jobs industry as people who go off on vacation quietly and don't tell their boss. So they may be people who have been spending lots of time trying to get themselves together and they've been working from home or working remotely for a period of time. And they just said, okay, I might as well work from Italy, or I might as well work from Saint-Tropez, or I might as well work from Yellowstone Park. It doesn't matter. It might be hard to work from there. You might not get a very good connection in some of those areas. But for the most part, people who work remotely can work in different environments. And some people have taken their jobs with them on an extended vacation, and thus the term quiet vacationing. And so why is quiet vacationing important? Well, if you are proficient with your work and you know the work you're responsible for and the work you're going to be doing, it makes it very easy to do your work from absolutely anywhere. And that's one of the things that I love to do. So I could work from Virginia. I could work from New Jersey. I can work in Philadelphia. I can work in Los Angeles. I can work in Mexico. I've worked in all those places this year. In fact, there's another Dr. Jarrett story. I was headed out to the Jersey Shore, catching up with one of my longtime buddies out there. We're going to do some sailing. We're going to do some cigar smoking. Maybe some drinking might have been on the order, but we were just going to get together and have a good time and catch up because we hadn't done that in a while. And so I'm taking the drive out there. It's less than a 2-hour drive to get to the shore. And even in traffic, I said, well, let me stop and stretch my legs. So I stop at this random rest area, have on all my urban camouflage, my sunglasses, jean sneakers. I don't even have on a Dr. Jarrett polo shirt. So I'm just kind of trying to be incognito. And yet again, Dr. J? And yet somebody else that I know was right there. And we caught up, talked about how we just headed to the shore for a little bit of time to unwind and enjoy, and went about our way, had a great conversation. And those types of events can happen for you when you're on the road. It can happen while you're working. And so when I went out on this particular weekend, I knew I had a couple of calls I had to make. I knew there were some people I needed to meet while I was out there in New Jersey. I was pitching the new book deal and indicating on how great of a movie this would be to some people. And we're getting some people very interested in the topic. So I'll tell you about the next book. I won't even say the new book because the new book isn't quite published yet, but then I'm already working on the next book. Then I'll let you guys, in on that as that develops a little bit. But quiet vacationing can be performed from anywhere by anyone who has the opportunity to do so. So if you guys are locked into a position where you have to show up and be in the office every day, you kind of have to let people know when you're going to be out of town because they're going to be looking for you. There's going to be a slate of patients out there looking for you, or people are going to be sitting around the conference room table wondering where their leader is for them to lead them through these meetings. So it makes it a little more difficult. But for so many of you guys that have been working remotely ever since the pandemic, you really can change your environment. And that's an additional perk that will allow you, if you can remain focused, to effectively perform your duties of your job and get a little rest and relaxation. So what should you do when your body is screaming, I can't do this anymore? Is it Monday again? Oh man, I have another late night meeting, and you just can't take it anymore. Remember to take a little bit of time for yourself. And that little bit of time, if all you need is a day or two, take a long weekend. If you need a week, take a week. I would suggest taking 2 weeks or more. So you can really get away. Who likes to go to those vacations where you're away for a week and takes you 2 days to get there? You hang out for a couple of days, but you're still worried about everything back home, worried about your job. So you finally get to unwind and relax and enjoy yourself. And then it's time to go. It's simply not enough time for you to reset your body and get yourself back in the shape that you need to be. So I say take 2 weeks. If you could really parlay it, take 3 or 4 weeks, or tack it on to some maybe other work adventure that you have coming up that maybe you had to travel for and get out of town, and put that at the beginning or the end of your vacation, which will kind of ease you in that transition out of work or into work, whichever way you choose to do it. But don't ignore the symptoms of you feeling like you're a ball of stress, you being tied up in knots, you just feeling so tense. Maybe you're snapping at people all the time. Any of these things, maybe you're drinking more, or you're even using other types of drugs to try to just get through. All of these things are signs and symptoms of an illness, meaning that your job is killing you. So make sure that you are taking the time for yourself, because those companies will be there, whether you are or not. They'll live on. I've lived through experiences saying, oh, everything's going to collapse when I leave. But hey, it never collapses. It keeps going. You're an important part of the organization you work in, but you're not the only part. So take the time to take care of yourself. There's still a little bit of time left in the summer, so make the most of that time before things really get rolling in the fall. And License to Live may be coming to a town near you. So take a moment, get out your calendar, pencil in your break. Hit me up on social media, wherever. Let me know where you're taking your break from. Tag me, hit me up at Dr. Jarrett, spell out the word doctor, J-A-2-R-E-1-T. And I will see you next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, no one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.